I hope you're all doing well today. Recently, I've got it in my head that I want to start making stickers. And before I go through the whole process of outsourcing and getting stickers made for my small business, I wanted to see if I could make them myself and make them in smaller quantities to see whether they sold or not before approaching any large sticker producers. So in today's video, I'm going to be using my Brother Scan & Cut, which I haven't really used much before, and I'm going to be trying to explain to you how I made these little Kiss Cut sticker sheets. I made them using all things that I have at home, and hopefully you will find this video helpful. I'm going to tell you about what sticker paper I used, some of the mistakes I made in my first attempt, so you can avoid doing the same thing if you wanted to attempt to make stickers yourself. And yeah, grab yourself a cup of tea and let's go. Before getting stuck into the how-to of everything, I thought it might be worth sharing the materials I used to create my stickers. I do all of my designing on my iPad in an app called Procreate. And this is the sticker paper I bought. This is from Amazon. One comment I do want to make about this label paper is I bought the matte version. It's a nice quality paper. The colours I personally think are quite vibrant, and the paper holds the ink quite nicely. But on reflection, I do wish I'd gone for the glossy version rather than the matte version. But that's just my personal preference. I also used a guillotine to cut out my sticker paper, but this isn't essential. This is just so I have smooth finished lines. For printing out the stickers, I'm using my printer, which is the Canon Pixma Pro 200. And I am using this in conjunction with my laptop software. And lastly, to cut around my sticker designs, I will be using the Brother Scan & Cut. This version is the SDX 1200. Coming in hot with mistake number one, I did not check what size sticker paper I had bought, and that resulted in the edge of my image being cut off by the printer. UK A4 paper looks very similar to the American letter size, but there is a small difference in size, and remember to adjust your canvases to account for that. To make my stickers, I use an app called Procreate. I've already started making my sticker sheet, as you can see here, but if I was starting again from the beginning, I would create a new canvas and just tap screen size. And on Procreate, the way you adjust your canvas is by clicking on the little spanner tool. Canvas, you can click crop and resize, and then settings. When you tap on the measurements, make sure that your proportions aren't constrained, and then you can enter in the size you want your canvas to be here. And it's important, in order to get high resolution images, to make sure that the DPI is on 300 pixels per inch so that your stickers are nice and crisp and sharp. So in the sticker sheet that I had made earlier, I have imported in a lot of little drawings that I've already done previously. So the theme is kind of gardening and the outside, so I wanted it to kind of have a green outdoorsy theme. And in order for my Brother Scan & Cut to be able to read the outlines of my shapes, I want to create an outline that contrasts the background of my sticker sheet so that my Brother Scan & Cut can read it easily and translate the images into cut-ins. So I am creating a new layer, and from my brush library, you can choose whatever border you like, but I personally, under the calligraphy subheading, I choose monoline, because with monoline, when you draw, it's all one consistent shape. You don't have any tapering around the edges. And then on that new layer, all I'm going to do is outline my stickers as evenly as I can. And then I like to fill my outlines, and you can see how well just a brilliant white contrasts against the green background. You can do whatever colour you like really. I just personally preferred the white background because I thought it contrasted well against all the other colours in the design. When I was testing out my stickers at the start of this process, before I really knew what I was doing, this kind of very faint grid that you can see at the back in the background, which is just there for decoration, I had that as white, and I really liked the white colour, but the machine sort of grouped it together with my white sticker outlines, and that sort of meant that I wasn't getting the exact cuts that I wanted to achieve. So to combat that, I have changed the colour of the grid in the background, and that solved that issue. Obviously I only did that really roughly for the sake of the video. You can spend as much time on it as you like. There's also probably other softwares out there where you can just kind of expand the shape evenly all around the outside of your designs, which would make creating outlines much easier and quicker. This is just the way I know how to do it, and I also really enjoy doing it this way. I kind of find it quite therapeutic. But so this is my sticker sheet complete, and now I'm going to email this to myself and open up the sticker sheet on my computer. Because I made my artwork on my iPad, I had to transfer those images onto my computer. But now that I'm on my computer, I'm going to be using a photo editing software. I use Photoshop, but you can use whatever software you like. In Photoshop, I'm going to set up a new canvas, and I have selected the size of my sticker paper, which is the US paper letter, 8.5 inches by 11 inches, resolution 300 pixels per inch, just like it was in Procreate. And I'm also going to change the color mode to CMYK, which is correspondent with my printer colors. Then I opened up my sticker sheet and dragged and dropped the sticker sheet on top of my new canvas. I realised to have one sticker sheet per sheet of sticker paper was a little bit too big, so I decided to try and fit 2 sticker sheets on the one page. I rotated and resized my sticker sheet until I could comfortably fit 2 on the letter paper. Even after resizing, there wasn't any loss of resolution in my designs, and so I was happy to go ahead and print them out. Most of my defaults are geared up towards A4 paper because that is mainly what I use. So in the print settings, I told my printer that we are going to be printing out on USA letter paper. And in order to get more vibrant colours out of my prints, I selected a media type that meant the printer would be laying a little bit more ink onto the paper to give us those vibrant sticker colours that really pop. Finding the media type did take a little bit of trial and error, but eventually I settled on cardstock. And again, on my actual printer, I made sure that the page settings on the printer matched with the settings on my computer. Basically, wherever there is something that requires you to change a page size, make sure that all of your page sizes are corresponding to ensure that there's no cropping around the edges of your stickers or parts of the design cut off. And as soon as that was printed out, it was time to take it over to the Scan and Cut and start cutting out my stickers. I have the Brothers Scan and Cut SDX 1200. I've had this machine for a few years, but to be honest, I haven't used it that often. And every time I do use it, it always seems to be for a different project. I like this machine because it has a built-in scanner that takes a photo of what is on your cutting mat, and so there isn't much tricky alignment to do when you're trying to cut things out. The Brothers Scan & Cut came with an adhesive tack mat. This is the standard adhesive mat, and after shooting this video, I found that this mat was actually a little bit too sticky for my sticker paper. After cutting, it was quite difficult to peel the sheet of sticker paper off without damaging it. So if you have access to a low tack sticker mat instead, use that. What I ended up doing was to rub some felt over the mat. The fluff of the felt got stuck to the adhesive and made it not so tacky. This might sound like I'm ruining the mat a little bit, but as long as you have dish soap and a sponge, all that fluff can just be wiped off. And it doesn't affect the stickiness of the mat in any way, and you can then use the mat for all your other projects. Because the Scan & Cut will read the whole mat, I didn't place the sticker paper in any particular place, just as long as it was inside the black box, which is the area that will be scanned. Then I'm going to load my mat into the Scan & Cut. And I'm going to press Scan, Direct Cut, and then just press Start. And now the machine will scan the image on the mat and create cut files from it. This part might be a little bit difficult to see. I'll zoom in on the camera. But if you can make out, all of our designs now have black outlines around them. There are also some other parts of the design and also the mat itself that the Brothers Scan & Cut has picked up too. Everything with a black outline around it is classed as an object, and the machine will now cut out along those black lines. But obviously there's too much selected. In particular here, you can see where the little watering can has picked up some of that grid. And the way to resolve this is by, I believe this is increasing or decreasing the threshold, and it just kind of cleans up those outlines a little more for you to then begin selecting what objects you are and aren't going to cut. So see the that extra bit around the watering can has gone there. We've still got some letters selected to be cut out as well at the top, which we don't want. But for the time being, we're going to hit OK. And then this line here, this is called smoothing. And this will smooth out the outlines around your shapes just to get rid of any jagged edges or sharp cuts. So it kind of converts any sort of sharp rectangles into curves. And if you press preview, it's very subtle, but these outlines, these edges have been just smoothed out a little more. And then I'm going to press OK and OK again. In the next screen, you have options to do other things, like this option, for example, will increase the outline distance, which we don't need to do on this occasion, but I think it's worth looking at. So if you did, it would just make our outlines a little bit wider, which you can see there, which could be useful in some circumstances, but we don't need it today because it's basically exactly where I want it to be. Then I'm going to press edit. I made the mistake before of thinking that I had to individually delete each object that I didn't want. So that red box indicates what object has been selected, and I thought I'd have to go through it all one at a time, which isn't a big deal if you haven't got that many sort of artifacts that you don't want to cut. But let's just say you have a lot of artifacts and you only want to cut out a certain selection of objects. Then I found the quickest way to do that is to hit on these 3 red boxes here and select the option with the circle and the triangle in, which selects each individual cut-in object available. Then you can deselect the objects that you do want to cut out. And you do that by individually tapping them, and what you're left with is every object selected that you don't want to cut out. So then when you click OK, you can just hit the bin icon and it will delete all of those excess artifacts without deleting the outlines that you do want to cut out. I hope I explained that okay. Then you just press OK and OK again. And you can see there are our outlines of the stickers we do want to cut out. Where it says please select, we're going to select cut. And in the options menu to customize your settings, I have left everything just at the default factory setting. I never needed to change it. The only option that I do adjust regularly is the half cut option, which you can turn on and off. Half cut determines whether the knife of the scan and cut will cut right through the paper or only cut partially through it, leaving you with a kiss cut sticker on your sticker sheet that you can then peel off from the sticker back in. So for my project, I am leaving the half cut switched on, and then I can just press start and the machine will start cutting out my designs, tracing around my outlines. And then to release the mat from the machine, you press the same button which you did when you loaded the mat onto the machine. This is the result after cutting. I did try and get some close-up images of the cut lines, but the camera didn't really pick it up. But you can see here as I'm peeling off one of the stickers that the cutting line followed around the white outline exactly. Then the only thing left to do was to take my sticker paper to the guillotine and chop off those white edges and cut the paper in half, and that gave me my finished product. I really enjoyed making these stickers. It did take me a few attempts, so I've tried to kind of condense down everything that I learned into this video, and I hope that came across. I hope you found the video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below and I will answer them eventually. But that's it for today. If you'd like to see more of my content, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a like. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.